All right. So last time, some of you, today we're going to be talking about DAX, and then it's a very short topic. We'll just talk about it briefly, do one or two things, and it's over because it's not that long. So today's class is going to be very, very short. And then after that, we're also going to talk about publish, because after our last project last time, a lot of you wanted to publish your or share your work with other persons, like Mr. Olalekan particularly. He tried everything possible to share that his work, his project with me, but he was not able to do that because Power BI doesn't allow that functionality. So he was not able to share his work. And all of you had to resort to just taking a screenshot of your work and then posting it to the group for assessment. And that was fine. That worked well for us. So we are going to talk about how to, share your work, publish your work, because it's not the same thing as Excel, where you just save the file and then, share it to whoever you want to. And once the person have the Excel app in their laptop, they can access your work and view it, and it will still have the same formatting and everything. All right. So DAX, what is DAX? DAX is simply data analytics. Data analytics expression. That's where it comes from. So this expression can also be expression. All right. So DAX means data analytics expression. So you remember in Excel, where if you want to add, for example, those formulas within Excel, when you want to do any formula here, for example, you want to add this profit. Please, can we all hear me? Can we all hear me? I wanted to know if we are together because I had someone talking. Can we all hear me? Okay, yes, fine. So I'm talking about DAX. In our previous in our Excel classes, we know that when you want to add all these things here now, everything here, you're going to just come here and write a formula, right? That is going to add everything for you. Maybe you just want to come here. You're not seeing my Excel. Sorry. So I'll just share my Excel screen. Ogun State, yeah, Mr. Oludare, you're welcome, boss. You're welcome, boss. I believe you can see my Excel screen. Hmm? Can you see Excel screen, boss? You're welcome, Jen. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay. Okay, then. So let's proceed. If you can see my screen, that's fine. So, in Excel, if you wanted to add the total profit and know the total profit, you just come here and do equal to, then you do sum. You just, it gives you the formula to use. Then you do summation of everything here. Then you close your brackets and it gives you the summation of everything here. So this is called Excel formula. It's called Excel formula in Excel. But in Power BI, it is not called formula. It is called DAX. So DAX simply means different ways of expressing formulas or functions or calculations or thereabout. So in Excel, it is called formulas. In Power BI, it is called DAX. So we'll get to it quickly. And there are three ways to use DAX. Three ways to use DAX. The number one way is through measures. When you're creating measures, the second way is through calculated columns. We'll get to that practically soon. And then the fourth way is through calculated tables. You can have calculated tables. These are the three ways of using DAX in Excel. The number one way is through what? Measures. The number two way is through what? Calculated column. And number three way. So I'm just going to launch my Power BI. So let's take a look at this table. Look at this table that we have in Excel. Look at this table that has gender, that has city, that has sorry. that has country and all of these things. This is just a simple table that I'm going to. I believe you are familiar with this table now. You've had this table. You remember this table when we did this project. This was an assignment then where you had to find the total revenue, the total whatever, and all that. So we are just going to use the same table in Power BI, in Power BI. So this is my Power BI. I'm just going to bring up that table. I'll go to, I just launched my Power BI. I'm sure some of you are not seeing it. So I'm just going to share that screen, my Power BI screen. Fine. You can see Power BI, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the table you're seeing now is Power BI. Okay, fine. So these are Power BI, and you all remember when we did the first one class we had like that, when I told you that in most of the sales reports that you're going to be having, if you check your Google, we even went to Google that day to check and saw several sales reports. And I told you that most sales reports will always have a KPI card that will just at a glance tell you that, okay, we made total sales, we made total number of sales, this is the total number of revenues we had, this is the total number of profits, this is the total number of products and all that. This is the total number of countries that patronize dots. So and how we did that was that, let me bring in the data, that same data that we used in Excel. I'll just use an Excel file. I'll go to my Excel to import it. It's not working. Oh, let me go back, try again. Excel. So sum if, this is the table. I'll bring in the table. And it has two tables in it, the other table and the sum if table. Okay, so I'll just select the both tables and then let me see if there's anything that I need to. Okay, all these null values. You see all these null values. We don't even need this table. We just need only this one. The other table. Okay. I'll go through. We don't have any null value here, so it's fine. I'll just load the. Okay, we don't need the. Let's load this one as well. So our table is loaded. Okay. So we have the two tables, it's loading, the sum if table and the other table. So now DAX simply help you to create measures, but I'll quickly explain what the measures mean. So measure is just used to, create aggregation. If you want to just have a quick aggregate, or you want to have a quick ratio, calculation of ratio, percentage, and all of those things, it just helps you to do that quickly. So if you open one of the table, this is the sum if table, all the values inside, all the columns inside, and then we are going to be focusing on the other table because that's where we have all the columns that we need. So you remember in that project that you did, to create your card, the KPI cards, like we said, that is needed. What we did manually was that we did everything manually. We wanted to have the total sales. We just come here and put total sales. You click on it, it will come up like this. When it comes up like this, then you just, change it to card. You just change it to card. Let me mute this person. Zainab, I'll mute you. All right, great. Please, Zainab, don't unmute yourself again. I beg you in the name of God. So how we did it then, we'll just come here, we'll drag it. Okay, let me clean it and do it again. Sorry. No, I don't want to export. So how we did it that time was that we'll just come here. If you want to have the total revenue, you just come here, drag revenue, bring it here. Then it will show you total revenue. Then we converted it to card, and then we'll have the total revenue here, which is very, very important for a sales dashboard. But We did it manually. This is manually. For each time you have to do this thing, you need to go and do it, repeatedly. So DAX help you to create a formula or a measure that you just have the calculated table, the total revenue as a table on its own. So each time you need to use total revenue, you just go straight to that table and just use it. Instead of having to do the calculation, you see where we did sum of total revenue. We came here, we can change it to average, we can change it to any of these things. So this is the manual way of doing it. So that helps you to create a table where you just have that one table. This place now is all the revenues. If you go to Excel, let me go to Excel and show you. If you come to Excel, are you seeing my Excel, please? If you come to Excel, you see that it's a summation of all this table, all this revenue. If you come to Excel, you
Your
see that
Excel is not showing.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm actually showing my Excel right now. Okay, so if you come to Excel, you see that revenue column, if you can see Excel now, that revenue column you're seeing is this column. Each of these columns you're seeing is each of these columns here. This is the table. In Power BI, it is called table, but here it's called sheets. This sheet now is table. Each of this cell here is what you have inside that place. So if you want to do the total sum of the revenue, is the summation of all these things. You now have the sum of the revenue. But instead of always doing that, you can just have one particular column that is called total revenue. Each time you want to use it, you just click on it and it gives you the total revenue. So as you can see, this table now is that other table. All right, so this is where we did it before. So what we'll do now is that we don't need to do it this way. We'll just remove it. Then we use measures to do it. So if you look at this place, you see in this your home tab, you have all of these things. We already know all this one. These are different ways to bring in your data. All right. So if you come to the second one is transform. If you want to transform or refresh your table, then this particular one is insert. This is not what we want. This is just, to insert text and all of this. But if you come to this calculation, you see new measure. So from here, you can actually create your new measure. But before you create a measure, you see you have two tables here. Sometimes you may have several tables, a lot of tables here. So you need to come and click on the particular table that you want to put your measures on. All right? You click on the table that you want to put your measure on. Zainab, why do you always keep on meeting yourself? Olarede and Zainab, these are the two people we're having a issue with. All right. I've muted her again. Please, Zainab, please help us. I'm begging you. So, you see, before you create your measure, make sure you come to that table, click on the table, then right click. You can click on these three dots here if you want, or you can just right click on it. And then you can see the first one here is called new measure. It's same thing as this one here. If you click this one, it will give you the same results. If you click on this first one here, new measure, it is going to pop up a calculation table. You see, it brings up a table for you here where you can do your syntax. It brings up this where you can do your calculation. So it's basically the same thing with Excel, writing Excel formula to sum, because what you want to have here now is to sum the revenue, in a table, just so that you just have the revenue already summed in a table for you. So what you need to do is just to come here, change the name of the measure, just change it. Maybe you want to have the total revenue. You want to have the total revenue like this. So equal to, the syntax is that, if you wanted to add the total revenue in Excel, what we do is just to do sum. So in this Power BI, it's still basically the same thing. It will still give you sum, all right? So once you bring up sum, if you look at here, on top here, it says sum, column name. So the syntax, it tells you the syntax, you see? It gives you the syntax, immediately you open it. So it asks you for the column name, so you just put the column name. Let me do it again. So I want to do sum here, summation. You click on sum. It gives you the syntax and asks you which table do you want, or what do you want to do, you want to calculate the total revenue. You can see revenue here, right? This is revenue. But in which table? This is the table where it is. So you want to calculate in the other table, but revenue. You want to calculate total revenue. Look at it. Inside other table, that's what it means there. This is other table, revenue. So you just click on it and then you close your bracket. So once you hit enter, now it's going to create a new measure for you or a new column here that is called total revenue. So I'll just hit on it. Look at here. You can see total revenue. It has added a new column for us called total revenue. So this total revenue, if I click on it or I drag it and drop here, it is going to give us the total revenue generated. So we'll just turn it to card. So this is the same thing. It gave us the same result. But the other time, we know we did it manually. But now, having this measure now gives you the ability to do more filtrations, to do a lot of things. You know, unlike when we did it manually, if you do it manually the other time, you can just have the figure. You can't really do any calculations or anything on it. So if you look at it, you can see the calculator sign. That calculator sign shows that you can actually do a lot of things, as you can see, we'll do, you know, just in a while. So this calculator sign here shows that you can do a lot of calculations on it, and you can actually use it for your reports, just for your reports here. This thing works only here. If you take it to Power Query, it's not going to work. In fact, you'll not even see this one because it is like a virtual something. This is just a quick measure, just to give you something you want to use quickly on your reports. All right. So we have this one here now as our KPI card. So this tells you the total revenue generated at a glance. So you may say, but it gave us the same thing, but it actually gave us the same thing, but not really. This one gives you more flexibility. You can do more things. You can, you know, filter, you can do calculations, you can do a lot of things. Look here. You can do okay, let me leave this one in the report field. Okay, let me do another one. Let me do another one to explain further. Let's say we already have the total revenue. Let's say at a glance, we also want to have the total sales that we made. Total sales that we made for that or total profits that was made. This is total revenue generated. So inside this revenue now, how much is the profit? So all we need to do is just to come to this table again. Then we'll just create a new measure. Click on new measure. Then it's going to pop up that formula bar for you. Look at the formula bar. So you just click on it, change it to total profits. Maybe you want to have our total profits that we made for that period of time. Then it will now ask you, what do you want to do? You say you want to get the total profit, sum of profits. So you see, once you type sum, you can do any kind of calculations. If you type divide, it will bring up the divide for you. If you type, so all of those formulas you have in Excel, they are all here. It's still basically the same thing. So we want to do the sum of the total profits, sum of profits. So listen, this particular one is the profit, all the profits you have for each of the cell, each of the row. But what we want to have now is a summation of the total profits at a glance. All right. So you come here, it's in the other table. Then the particular column is the profits column. We want to sum up the profits column. We'll look for the profit column. Look at it. Just click on it. Then when you close your bracket and hit enter, it's going to create that measure. Just watch down here. It has added total profit for us as a measure. This calculator here means is a measure. As you can see, the calculator sign. So it's a measure. All right. So if you now click on it or you bring it here, you're going to have it, then convert it to card. So this is our total profit. So it's not always good to leave this thing in decimal points. So you just want to, you know, click on it and remove that decimal point. If I click on it, you come here, you can see, just click on this one. It will remove the decimal point for us. So a total profit of 55K. This is great. Put it here. So now you see when I have a measure called total profit, so it makes your work faster. Like if you're working and you just want to at a glance have, or you just want to quickly use the total profit, you don't have to come and start calculating the total profit anymore. You can just at a glance just drag it, put here. It's already calculated on its own. It's like a column on its own that contains the total profits made. All right. So it really makes your work very easy and fast while using measures. All right. So this measure is very, very simple. I think it's not really a big thing. It's not really a big thing. So it's not something we waste time on. It's so simple, okay? So that's it about measure. The next one is the calculated column. Do we understand measures very well? Zainab, okay. I was getting a background sound from your end. I have to mute you. It's fine though, it's fine, it's fine. So, do we understand measure now? Do we understand how to use measure? You can use measure to, do a quick summation, to do a fast aggregation of your ratio, your percentage, and all of that. Does anyone have questions on measure? Do we understand measure very well? I wanted to know if you understand measure so that I can move on to this. I told you the class will be very short because it's all the things we need to discuss is very easy. Then after that, we just go straight to, okay? So you all understand measure. All right, that's fine. So we go to the calculated column. So calculated column is just very simple. It's just kind of adding new column to your work. It's just a way of adding new column to your work. Maybe your table, you have your table here and you have, what do we add? Let's say we want to split this. Okay, let's say you want to, if you had your name, maybe you had the first name column and the second last name column, and you wanted to just add them together and have them in one column, then you can just use that calculated column to add it. Or if you want to do quantity, selling price, cost price, revenue, or maybe profits, loss. Maybe if you want to know your loss, if you want to have a loss column, how do we calculate our loss? Maybe our loss is cost price. Okay, revenue. Revenue minus the cost price. Okay, let's say we want to calculate our loss. Loss should be selling price minus the cost price, right? So we want to create a new column to know if you have any loss in any of this thing. So you can just come here to your other table. Now, the first one was new measure. New measure is to add a measure, right? So now it's new column. You want to create a new column, right? So you just click on new column, not new measure this time around. So you click on new column and it's going to bring up that formula bar for you to write your formula. So you see here, you want to calculate your loss. Maybe you want to know if there's any loss at all. So the loss could be, you want to subtract this from this selling price minus cost price, right? So it's going to be selling price. So it's going to be your other table. The other table, what are we looking at? The selling price, okay? Then you do minus your cost price. Other table again. Cost price. Selling price, total profit, revenue. What is our cost price? These are cost price here. Cost price, okay? So if this is what you wanted to know, maybe this may be wrong anyway, but I'm just trying to show you how to use calculated column. As you can see, because we added a new column, it's already adding this new column for us. See, it is just waiting for us to complete this calculation, this instruction, or this syntax. Once we complete this syntax, it's going to add the values here for us. So we'll just hit enter. Once you hit enter, it's going to quickly do that and then add the values. You can see that's added all the values for us. It means that these are the losses. If this were to be the actual losses, or if we're correct with this formula, then it has calculated the losses for us, that we lost this amount in this particular sales. In this order, we lost this amount. These are the losses that we had. So this was how, if you didn't have this profit column and you wanted to know your profit, the profit would have just been the, I think the profit would be the revenue minus the cost price. That should be your profit. The revenue, the amount you sold it, you got, minus the cost price would have been the revenue, or selling price minus cost price would have given you the profits. But we already have profit, so we just decided to do the loss. So you can see how we added this new column. All right. So this is just the number one. We can also, the number, we can also add letters if you want to add letters. Maybe you want to add, like I said, new name. If the name was splitted, maybe the first name and the second name, you wanted to add them together, you can use new column to do that. You just add the name column plus the distance. So let's try to do that in the other table. We can add new column. Let's just assume that the city and the country, we'll have city and country. Let's assume that the city and the country are two different names. I want to join them together in a new column. So we can just call this one location, maybe location. I want to join the city and country in one column. So the location, the name would be, we'll just add the country, or maybe the city first. The city is in order table, or you can always start from order. You can see order. Once you type order, it will bring up, it will usually bring up the table for you to select from. If it is not bringing up for you, that means you're doing it wrong something. All right, you're doing it wrongly. So we want to add the country, right? The country column. Then you just add this. This is your and. Then you put your, supposed to put a space, all right? Put your and again. Then you put your what? The city, other city. And that is all. So look at what I did. I added the country. I want to merge two letters, two columns together. Maybe I said, for example, if the names were splitted into first name and second name in two different columns, first name and last name, and you want to join them together in one column called name or customer name. Assuming we don't have customer name already, we have them splitted into two columns. Then this is how to do it. So I'm just using an example. Since we already have customer name, let's now use city and state. Let's join them together in one cell to create a new column. All right. So the syntax I use is, I put the other table, the country is in other table. Then this is the addition, the and. Then I will use the double quote. This space is just to give them, you see, between this first name and second name, you have a space here. So this space is just a delimiter to give them this space. Then this, then you bring up the second column. So this is the first column space, the second column. So once I hit enter, it's going to create, that's created a new column for us called location. So this is the location, you see. Then it added the column that is called country to the column that is called city. All right, see the country here, for example, Accra. See Accra, this first one. Then Ghana. You check what we have here. It is Accra, Ghana. And they have a space, the delimiter. You remember, this is the space we added. Without this space, this Accra and Ghana will be joined together. All right. So this is just how to add your column, your new column. All right. Calculated column and all of that. So I'm still going to tell you reason why you may want to add new columns, and then reason why you may not want to add them. It's really not good adding new columns in Power BI, okay? Okay. In fact, always do all you can to make sure you don't add new columns to your Power in Power BI, because it's not good at all. Okay. So Bishop, I've muted you. I don't know why you come late and you're still making noise. Bishop, you come late and you're still making noise. So yeah.
Moderator, please, good evening. Where
Welcome,
I am,
sir.
I'm only person here, and there's nobody making noise. If someone is making noise, you could have said, please, are you Bishop? Is the noise from your background? I'm the only one in this place that nobody lives in this hostel I'm living. I'm the only
Oh,
one in this
wow.
environment. And you allegedly said I came later than you can see when I'm coming in that I just walked into this hostel now, about 30
Oh,
seconds
sorry.
ago,
No,
thereabout.
no, 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 I didn't mean it that way. I was just trying to, it's just a joke, not
I haven't
like
heard
I'm
his
saying you're
background. I
making
wanted to
noise.
complain, but I just said,
No, no, no,
let it be.
don't
You could have
worry.
said, Bishop, if the noise is for you, please off it, than to say you always come late and,
No, no,
and
no, sorry.
it was
Sorry, you're
attacking to
taking
me.
it.
I forgive you.
That's not how I mean it. I'm sorry about that, sir. I just wanted to, make a mark, but I'm sorry. You misunderstood me. I'm so sorry about it. But
He was just
I had
playing
to,
with you.
I had
Okay,
to,
he was
I had
just
to,
playing. It's not a serious thing.
yeah, yeah. I had to just meet you. That's why I'm sorry. Okay, so you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. So this is how to add new column. You can add column for anything. In fact, you can even add new column. You can add two measures. You see, we created two measures, right? You can add these two measures as your column. Maybe you wanted to calculate something like profit and revenue. Is there a way we can relate profit and revenue? Maybe you wanted to calculate your profit and revenue. Okay, you want to know how much is your uh total profit. We already have total profit. We have revenue. Maybe we wanted to just know how much is your percentage uh generated. Okay, let's just create one column. Let's use these two measures that we've created. You can even use them to, add new column. So let's say we want to have total revenue divided by profit. Yeah, total revenue divided by profits. So that means we want to know the percentage. What are we going to call this now? We want to do total revenue divided by profits. Okay, let's call it uh, total revenue divided by profit. What is it going to give us? Maybe okay, let's call it percentage profit. Percentage profit. This is just, I'm not sure this is right, but I'm just trying to use it to show you something that you can actually also work on the measures you created. You can also use them. We've been using normal column figures all this while. So you can just say it is in the order table. So you can just start by saying order. It will just pop up everything in the order table, including the new measures you've created. So we want to go down and look for profits, order total profits, order total revenue. So you see total revenue, total profit. So you just add it. We want to do revenue minus profit. Okay, revenue minus profit, or revenue divided by profits, whichever one. So you can do revenue divided by profits. The table is order, then you want to get profit. So revenue divided by profit is still going to give you the exact figure, but this is not the standard way of doing it. A lot of people don't like using this method to do it, because when this total revenue, this denominator, I think the one under is denominator, when the denominator is 0, it's going to give you a wrong value or null value. All right, so this is the best way to do this. You just use your formula. Remember when we use sum, right? So you can also use divide, just like in Excel. So you call the divide function. Then it's going to tell you what to do. It's asking you for the numerator. What is your numerator? So it is the order table revenue. In the order table, you select it, then comma, just, it will ask you for your denominator. What's going to be your denominator is in the order table. You go down to select the profit. then that's all. It's asking for alternative result, which is alternative. So you just close your brackets and you hit on enter. Once you hit on enter, it's going to give you whatever you are trying to, calculate here in a new column. As you can see, it has created a new column for us. So once you hit on your enter, it's going to, give you the percentage, whatever that you're looking for. And this is it. This is very wrong anyway. I don't know. Now, the reason why you may want to use create new columns in Power BI sometimes is if what you need to do is not here already. If what you need to get, the particular column you want to use is not already here. Maybe you wanted to calculate the profit. Maybe this table stopped here. It stopped at these expenses. It didn't give us the profit. So you may want to see your profit at a glance. So you need to do cost price minus the selling price to get your profit. So in that instance, you want to create a new column. All right. And also sometimes if we had the date column here, I'll have shown you. Okay, we have the date column. Look at the date column. Most times companies want to create a weekday column. They always want to have a weekday column to help them to calculate all those their month, year, and all of that. So you may want to add it to make sure that you have it, because most times you don't have it in Excel. So you may want to have something like, let me show you, new column, and you want that new column to be the weekday. So you just call it the weekday column. You can just call it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Oladure. Okay, thank you. So now you want to have this weekday and week. Okay, weekday. And you already have a column here. This is the column, the weekday column. Look at it, the other dates column. So you want to have your weekday column. So you just do the other dates. This is your weekday. I think other dates, and look at the other dates here. So you want to have other dates column, which is your weekday. Let me see. Oh, sorry. This is how to do it. Let's do it because I want to have the weekday, the exact day in the week. The weekday, put your weekday. Then which column is it? It will ask you for the date. So the date you want to add is your other day, which you already have in your other dates column. So you just close it. Then when you hit on enter, it's going to give you the weekday. So you can see it's in numbers. So it's just telling you the weekday. If you come back to your this thing and then you get a sum of that. Let's come back here. Sorry, let's come back to the dashboard. Then we want to locate that weekday. If you bring up that weekday. So you see, you have the weekday here. So you may want to calculate the weekday for each day. You can just drag the weekday column and put it in the x-axis, since you already have it in the y-axis. So it's going to give you the weekdays, like the days in the week that you have the highest column. So if you wanted to start your day from week 1, maybe this week 1 is Monday, then you know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7 days of the week. So you want to know that on Monday you made small, you don't make much sales on Mondays. On Tuesday, the sales come up on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. So you see that it's on the 7th day, maybe weekend. Maybe this could be a club or something. So they make most sales on Sundays, on weekends. But during the weekday, people don't usually go to club, or maybe it's an eatery or something. People don't usually go to that place on Monday. So they make low sales, which is very common with clubs and, all those kind of places. So people usually go to hang out. You can see it was on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that they had. In fact, on Sunday, they had their most sales. So at a glance, you can tell that the company, you can, tell your company that they make most of the sales, so they can try to, budget, put in more budget and all of that into their weekends, because that's when they make more sales. So these are some of the reasons why you may want to, you know, create a new column. All right. Then the reason why you must not create new columns in Power BI, it is not advisable to ever create new column, because when you create new columns in Power BI, it makes your data, you know, this thing comes, the files are very big. Normally, if you do this new column in Excel, if this particular, only this one column now called location is going to take up to 5 kilobytes in Excel, in Power BI to take almost 1 MB, it's going to take up to, that's about 1000 kilobytes. So it makes the file excessively heavy, in the sense that it may even crash while loading, or it may not load at some points. So it makes your files very, very, very heavy when you create them here. So it's always advisable that if you needed to create any new column, make sure you create them in Excel before bringing them here. Create all your columns. Make sure you do all your columns in Excel before you bring them here. So always try as much as possible to avoid creating new columns in Power BI, unless that's really a need, just like we'll have it here in this weekday. If your company needs to, you know, have this weekday, because they already have dates here, so they really want to have this weekday and, you know, use it to make their decisions and all that. Those are some of the reasons. But if not, always make sure you create your new columns in Excel before bringing them here. All right. So that's basically it. Yeah, so you just try to avoid creating new columns in Excel. Then tables, I think we've created tables as well. You know, we talked about the three measures, the three uses of DAX in creating measures, in creating calculated columns, and in creating tables. So as you can see, we've created tables as well. We've created new measures, and we've created columns, new columns, tables, and new measures as well. So this is basically, okay, let's create that's one thing I'm going to show you now. Let's say we want to have a hair. Look at that Excel file. This is the last thing I'm going to do before I'll show you how to, you know, publish your work. Let me show you that Excel file. Do you remember when we did this assignment? We did some if. So what we want to do here for product one, we do if it is product one, get the total revenue. We don't want to get the total revenue for everything, but only for product one, get total revenue for only product one, get total revenue for only product two. Do you remember that? So if you want to do the same thing in Power BI, how do you handle that? So let's get to it. You will see, can you see my Power BI now? Now, want to have, remember, this total revenue now is for everything, the entire, everything here, everything is total revenue. This is the total sale they made, the total sale for everything. But if you come to this other table, we have products. And inside the products, we have product 1, product 2, product 3 to 10. So this, let me show you in Excel. We have product 1, product 2, product 3 to 10. You see, this is the other table, that other table that we are in. Look at the products column. We have product 1, product 2, product 3 to 10. So we want to calculate the revenue for just product 1. And to do that, it is if. Remember how we did it? Here we just do if, equal to if. Then we'll do the if function. So now the thing is, you now tell it, it's asking you for the logical text, the value if true, then the value if false. Okay, let me come here. I want to calculate the total revenue. Who can remind me? I think it's sum. Okay, sum if. It is sum if, sum if. So the range is what? So the range, we want to calculate the revenue if it is, the revenue is the range, comma, then the criteria is product, comma, then the, sorry, I think this formula is not right. So we want to calculate the range is product, comma, what is the criteria inside product? What do you want to calculate for product 1? All right. So, comma, what is the sum range? What do you want to sum? Want to sum all the revenue? Then you close your bracket. So this is going to give you the total revenue for only product one. Just the total revenue for only product one. So it is summing up the revenue, this revenue here. This is the revenue. For product one, this is one. It will go down again, look for another product one, it will add it. It will go down, look for another product one and add it. It will add it for all of them. The total revenue is this. So if you want to do such a thing in Power BI, you can also use the calculated column to do that. So what you need to do is to come here, click on, remember we are on the what? On the other table. Make sure you are on the table before you click. So we want to add new measure. This time around is measure because you want to do a calculation. Anytime you want to do calculation, it is measure. But if you want to add column, it is new column. All right. So see the difference. If you want to do calculation, you see this calculator sign. But if you want to do new measure, see the measure sign. See all the, sorry, new column. See all the columns we added, the location, all of that. So now I want to add new measure. Click on measure. Then it's going to pop up that formula bar for you to start working. So what do we want to have here? We want to have the total revenue for just product one.
Chris, please, we can't see your Power BI screen. We're only seeing Excel.
Oh, sorry about it. Sorry about it. So I'll come back to Power BI. But you understand what I did in Excel, how I got that revenue for only product one, right? You recall? Okay. So I'll come back here. This is the measure I created. I can just delete it since you didn't see it. Let me do it again. So I'll click on these three dots, click on delete from model. Then this is it. So I want to create, this is the total revenue calculated for all the products. So I want to have total revenue for just one product, just for product one. So that anytime I want to quickly get the total revenue for product one, I'll just quickly do it. So I'll just come to the other table, click new measure. Then it's going to pop up the formula bar for me, right? So when it pops it up, I'm just going to rename it. I want to calculate the product one revenue. So once you see it, you know that this revenue is just for product one. So I'm going to do product one revenue. So I'm going to do sum. The sum formula for product one. So this is revenue, other revenue. I'll click on it. Then I'm going to put a comma. No, sum if. Okay, no. Now that sum is just to sum up a particular column. So what we need to use here is to use calculate because we are doing for calculated column. So you click on calculate. Can you see my screen? If you click on calculate, it will tell you what you need to do. The first thing you need to put there is the expression. The expression is that you want to just type order one. You want to get the total revenue for order one. And look what it did. We already have total revenue as, look at what it's giving us here, total revenue. We already have it as what? As a measure. So you select it. Then comma, you put a comma here. It's now asking you for filter. Now, what do you want to filter? Remember, we want to filter just product one. Total revenue for just product one. So you want to get products inside the other table. So you come here, look for products. Look at products. Where is the products? Okay, no problem. I'll drop it. I'm looking for, okay, look at products. You select products. Now you want to filter out just product one. If you leave it like this, it's going to calculate everything for just products. But you want to do equals to give me the total revenue when it is product one. So you put product one. Then you close your equal to, then you close your brackets. Please look at what I did. I think somebody's finished. Faith. Okay. And Stephen. Two of you. All right, I've muted them. So once I do this and I click on enter, it's going to create a new measure for us called total revenue for product one. Look at it. So when we drop it here, this is going to give us the total revenue for just product one. It is blank, product one total revenue. So the reason why it could be blank could be because, let's see, product one. Oh, look at the spelling. So you have to make sure that the spelling is correct. So look at, so you really need to, go to your table. Let me show you. In product one, look at the way it is spelled in your Excel. If you can see Excel, product one. So this, I'll come back to this thing. So the reason why it gave us blank is because our spelling was wrong here. So I'll remove one of the R. It's correct now, product one. That's correct. So I'll hit on enter. And then once it calculates that, it gives us the value for product one, just product one alone. So this is total revenue for everything, but this is what only product one gave us, just product one alone. Did you see what I did with that new measure? So this is actually a calculated, I used calculate function to get for just product one. So you can do this at a glance. You can see what only product one gave you. You can even turn it to, column chart and all that. All right. So that is fine. I think we've covered everything about DAX. We've done all of that. So if you also want to do, maybe create a function, a new column here that tells you, maybe let's look at when products, maybe you want to give gift, that gift thing that we did before, or you want to just use quantity. Any person that buys maybe from 30, the highest one here is what? I think the highest quantity here is 30. So any person that bought from 20 and above, we should give them maybe we should give them a laptop. Then any person that bought from 20 and below, from maybe 19, we just give them a maybe whatever, a phone. So we can just achieve that by doing come to new measure, new column this time around. Then you click your new column, because it's going to be a new column. You want to have a column where you want to know what to give these people according to the quantity that they bought. All right. So you come here, you can call it gifts. You want to give a gift, the gift column. So you remember in Excel, we did similar thing. We did if this thing is this, then do this if it is not this and all that. So you can just come here and do your if. It's the same thing. You do your if. So the logic test it wants to give you is if quantity equal to, so you can do order just to call up the table. So order, I want to do quantity. Look for quantity here. Quantity, look at order quantity. If order quantity is equal to or greater than, so you do equal to, is greater than or equal to, or just use greater than. If order quantity is greater than maybe 20, if order quantity is greater than 20, sorry, let me test out this thing. Then what will be the results? If it's greater than 20, give them what? Laptop. You close it. Then comma, else, what will happen? You give them maybe a phone. Then make sure it's inside a quote. Then you give them a phone. Close the bracket and then close your bracket. So you've given it an instruction to create a new column. Go through the quantity column and check any person that bought over 20. Any person that bought from 21 and above, give them a laptop. But any person that didn't buy up to 20, then give them a phone. Assuming you have like 3 or 4, let's say we have 3 different items. We have a phone, we have a laptop, and we have a pen. Then we want to do, you want to give it more. You can just come after the first condition, after the first laptop, instead of putting the second one, you can just put if again, a loop. You can loop your if. Then you put the condition again. If quantity is greater than, just like that. But we have only 2 items here. I want to just give them just those 2 items. So you give the person a phone. Then you close it, close your bracket. Once you hit on enter, it's going to fill up this column for us. So you see, it's just going to fill it up for us. It will just go and check quantity. If your quantity is up to 20, if above 20, it's going to give you a laptop. See, this person bought 20, 30, 30. Let's look at 16. He gave this person a phone because they bought below 20. 13, 22 is over 20. He gave them a laptop and all that. So you see, so it's still the same thing. Excel and this is the same thing, but all those formulas you use in Excel, you just use DAX to, achieve them in Power BI through creating new measures, creating new columns or new tables. Sorry. So that is it about DAX. All right. I think we've done everything. Is there any questions or anything? So I'll just quickly want to show you how to share your Power BI project. Once you do your project here, you want to share it with people because we find it very difficult last time to, share our work. So I would like to show you how to do that. But before we go into that, let's just give a few minutes for questions. If you have any questions, so this is 9:30. We're supposed to close by maybe by 10, just 10 to 20 more minutes and we are done. So let's take questions now. Any questions on DAX? Then just raise up your hands and unmute yourself, then ask your questions. Okay, Ezineya, please go on with your question. Unmute yourself. Yeah, go on. Ezine, go on.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you, ma? How are you?
I'm fine. Please,
Right,
it's
great.
about the calculate function that you just did. I noticed you put a double equals to sign. So I don't know why that.
Okay. So that double equals is you remember when we did Excel, right? How you know how to use your if in Excel. So let's do the same thing in Excel. This is the quantity column now. You can see my Excel, right? Then we'll just do
Yes,
if
I can.
equals to if. We want to use the if formula. So what the if formula is just to, test a condition. After testing the condition, then give us results. The result we give it is just 2. It has to be a 1 out of 2 results. Test this condition, test this water, and tell us if it has taste or not. Call this person and know if they will pick or not. So the result is always 1 or 2. Except you want to use ifs. If you now use ifs, you can now consider several results. So in this case, we have only laptop. Our company has, no, let's clean. I think he's giving us the wrong thing. Our company have only laptop to give out to their customers and a phone, just 2 things. They don't have more than these 2 things. If they have several things, maybe key holder and all that, you can now use ifs or looped if, nested if. You can now use nested if. So here I want to say if equals to if. So the company now tells you as a data analyst, please help us design a formula or a condition that will test using the quantity. The person that bought more should get a laptop, at least 20 pieces. If you did not buy up to 20 pieces of an item, you're getting a phone. But if you bought up to 20 and above, you're getting a laptop. So the test logic is you go to quantity, comma, if the quantity is equals, okay, the test logic is quantity, test if quantity is greater than, we'll do greater than, test if quantity is greater than
Sir,
20.
sorry, sir, please, sorry. I am not talking about the if function. I mean the one you used to find the product, the total revenue product for product one. That's the particular formula I'm talking about, not this one.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're asking. Okay, let me do that again. You want to find the revenue for just one product. You know, here we did the
Yes.
total revenue. We did the total revenue for everything. So we just want to have the total revenue for just one product. So what we did here is just to add filter to this thing. Filter out inside this revenue, filter out for, this is the revenue for the whole product, total product, but filter out just product one for us. So let me do for product two so that you, instead of repeating it again, let me do for another product. So it is, we add new measure, this time around is measure, not column. So we want to add for product two. Please watch closely, I won't repeat it. Product two revenue. So we want to calculate for the total revenue for product two. Then the function we're going to use is calculate. We call up the calculate function. It will tell us to give it the expression. What is the expression? We want to get the order total revenue or total profit, whichever one you want to do. So total revenue in this case, how much is the total revenue for product? So you put a comma, then it will now ask you filter. Where do you want me to apply a filter on which column? So it is in the order table, but for the what product table. Look at the product table, you select it. So inside this product, because we have 10 products there, we have product one, product two, product three. Assuming you're working on a file and it is maybe bread, sandwich, chocolate chips, and all of that. So which of them, you have to know the name of those 10 products inside your product table. That's why I actually went back to Excel to, tell you that the products we have inside Excel is product one, product two, product three, product four, products up to product 10. So if what you had there in your own file that you're working with is maybe chocolate, Bonvita, biscuits, the particular product you want to find out the revenue for. If it is biscuits, you come here and do filter out for when the product is biscuits. So in this case, I want to go into this product table and filter out this equal to double equal to here means when the product is, then you type the name of the product one, and you close your brackets and close your table like this. So this is the expression. This is the expression. So let me go through it again. This is it. Calculate for this other table, total revenue inside the other table, comma. Then this is what you want to calculate, total revenue. Then which column do you want me to calculate the total revenue for? It is for the product column. And not just the product column, but go into the product column and get just product one. Okay, let's do for product two. We've done product one already. Get for just product two. I don't want to see other products table. Just get only product two. Then when you hit enter, it's going to create that measure for you down here. Let's wait for it to create. It has created it. Look, then you just bring it here. Then it gives you the whatever. Then you change it to a card. Then it has given you total revenue for just product two. See, total revenue for only product two. So you can actually come here and then convert it. So just click here to bring up this table. Then you can put a unit to it, maybe dollar, whatever you want to use. You put it in the front. So you want to, remove the decimal. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine. We don't want decimal, 10. All right, so this is it. I think this figure may be wrong, but 8,000. No, it's correct. $8,000. You can also put figures in units in all of this one. So this is how I did it. Look at the formula again. This is for just product two. This is for product one. If we do for all of them now, we'll do product three, product four, product five, product 6 to 10. Then when we now sum all of them together, it will still give us this 142 in total. Do you understand, Ma?
Yes, I understand. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Do we have another question? Anybody? You can raise up your hand if you have any questions at all on DAX, because you are done. DAX is very simple. It's a very straightforward something. If you understand the Excel formulas very well, then DAX won't even be an issue for you. All right. So we don't have any questions. Everybody understand? Mayowa, DBC, Corredo, Faith, Mr. Is it Ilya Vanjin? Sorry about that.
Yes,
Bishop.
correct.
Okay, great. You understand everything, sir, about that?
Well, I'm following.
All right, great. Maybe when you rewatch the video, you can just practice.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Bishop is gone. Bishop is very angry. The guy misunderstood me, really. I don't know. I wasn't trying to, talk down on him. I was just trying to kind of, I thought he was, because I muted him. The noise were coming from about 3 people. So he was one of the person I muted. I was like, Bishop, you came late and you started making noise, something like that. But he got it, he saw it in a different way. He has left. I will call him after the class to apologize. Then Jenny. Jenny, please unmute yourself. I didn't even know you were here, Jenny. How are you, ma? Hello, Jenny. Are
I'm
you
fine,
still?
thank you, Sir Chris.
All right. Did you join us from the beginning?
Yeah, I did.
All right, good. So we did DAX today. Do you understand DAX?
Yeah, a little. I do. I'll rewatch the
Do you have any question?
video again. I'll get a better understanding, but it's quite simple.
Straightforward.
Not really.
Okay, that's fine
Yeah.
then. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So that's it about
Thank you.
DAX. I think we are done for today. So I'll just quickly show you how to share your file when you finish working on your Excel file. So Excel is not like Power BI is not like Excel, where you just finish, you save, and then you can share to anybody. You have the the file. It's not like that here, because this Power BI it's not supposed to be free. It's supposed to, it's a company, it's an organization file. It's supposed to be an organization thing. So, but you're using it for free. In fact, you don't even have to register to start using it, actually. So you can do almost everything you want to do here, do your reports and all of that. But when it comes to saving your work and sharing it, you need to register. That's number one thing. They will prompt you to register an account, because they need to save all those your work, all those your projects inside your account. And this thing, you remember you downloaded this thing, desktop, Power BI desktop. Remember you downloaded it. So, but you cannot save here. This is just like an app on your laptop. So before you can save, you have to take it to the online version, powerbi.com. So you can go to powerbi.com and create an account, or just simply hit on create. Maybe in another video, another class, I will show you how to use AI. They just newly integrated this Copilot. It's an AI. You can use AI to do all of this thing. In fact, all those dashboard that you created, you can just use Excel just on a click of a button. You just use this this AI to do everything from beginning to end, to create all these things, the measures for you, create the complete dashboard for you and give it to you using this Copilot. So maybe in one of those times I'll show you how to use it. But today, you see this publish here. You can also come to files. You see publish. See publish here. You can just click on your publish. It will tell you to publish to Power BI. So if you click on it, it's going to redirect you to the online version. So do you want to save your changes? Yes, you want to save it. Then it will first of all prompt you to create, save file. Maybe I just call it work. You need to save it as work. Then click on save. Then it is going to first of all prompt you to create an account. You see, so bring you to put your email. So once you put your email, they are going to use it to create an account for you and then sign you in. You sign in. Then once you sign in, you're going to see this your work inside the excel.com, inside the Power BI, this thing.com. That's their website, powerbi.com. So I'm not going to create an account here, but you can just put your email to create your account. Then once you go into that powerbi.com, you're not going to see your account, but there are levels they are going to give to you. Where you are now is a free version. You're using the free version. For you to be able to upload your work and save it and be able to share it, you must have a level that is, I don't think it's an ownership level or something. They have the Power BI Pro and the Power BI Premium. That is, you must have to buy a level. It is called workspace. You have to create your own Power BI workspace. That workspace is where you're going to save all of your work, any work you're doing on Power BI. So please make sure you create an account. Make sure it's very, very necessary at this point to have an account so that whatever you're doing is going to be saved in your account. So even without subscribing, without buying the Power BI Pro or the Power BI Premium, you can still have this free account called Workspace. That workspace will help you to save all of your file, and you can also share that file with your co-workers, but it is limited. You can also give access to who you want to see your work, but you can't really share it with other people. Like, it's just like email. You can just put the email or the name of the person you want to see your work, but it is very, very limited. It is when you now have that premium that you can easily, it's usually for enterprises, for companies, and all of that. So, but alternatives, even if you have that workspace and you publish your work in the workspace, you still cannot share it. So it is really, really a very strict platform. You can share it, okay? You cannot just give your link to somebody and they'll click it and then see your work. They cannot. All right. The only thing you can do is limited. The only thing you can do is just to give access to somebody to, view your work. They really cannot interact with your work like that. So alternatively, there's this platform called Novi Pro. Novi Pro is an online platform. It's just like your GitHub, if you know GitHub and all of that. So you can come to Novi Pro and create an account. Just click on this join us. I've not created an account with them, but you can just create your account. Once you click on join us, then you can now begin to share your Excel files with them. Let me go to, your Power BI file. I don't know why I just like calling Excel. So you can just go to look at Power BI platform. So it is still prompting me to create my account here. All right, but I don't want to create an account now. I'll create it later. So powerbi.com, you come here, just put your email. That's all. Once you put your email, you can just click on submit and then create an account. Once you create an account, all the work you've been doing, you see them here. All the work you've saved you're going to be saving in your Power BI platform. You see all of them here. So right here, you can, I'm not sharing my, sorry. I'm not sharing my Google. I'm actually showing my Google right now. So please, can you see my Google? My Google. Okay. Yeah. So you can see my Google. This is the Novi Pro that I talked about. The Novi Pro. Just come to Novi Pro, create an account. Once you have an account here, then this is the Power BI website, the web version. This is the real Power BI here. All right. So when you come here, you can see your workspace. You can, upload your work here. After uploading it, you still cannot share it from here. So you have to copy the link of that work that you've done. Maybe in our next class, before we start our next class, I must have created my account and done everything. Then I'll quickly show you how to do it practically. But this is exactly what you do. So you copy that link of the project, that particular report you've built, then come here to Novi Pro. By then you've created an account, just paste it on this Novi Pro. It is now the link from this Novi Pro that you can share to anybody. Once they click on it, they can just come to Novi Pro and view your work. They can even interact with it, in this Novi Pro and all of that. So that's it. That's basically how to handle your Excel stuff. Okay. So that's how to publish your Excel work, and that's it. That's pretty much it. All right. So thank you all for joining. This is going to be the end of our class. In the absence of any question, I'll just share the video for you to go through again. All right. So thank you for coming. Good night. Bye. Bye.